Iga Steven, and I'm going to be taking you through social insurance. From the definition, basically social insurance is a cooperative device which aims at guaranteeing adequate benefits to those people that are insured, and at the same time we must understand that it is a compulsory basis for those who are suffering times of unemployment, the sick, and also some other emergencies. Basically, we need to understand also what are some of the main features that we can highlight when we talk about social insurance, having understood it. One, we must understand that it involves the establishment of a common monetary fund, which is aimed at benefiting those people whose livelihood have been deprived of, or there is need to help them. Then two, the distribution of workers is merely nominal and is kept at a low level such that it does not exceed their paying capacity. So here we realize that for social insurance to be effective, the contribution of the workers should not exceed, ideally, what they can really contribute. Then three, the benefits are granted as a matter of right. In other words, it is a right for every individual, ideally, in every economy, that this person is under social insurance. Then we can also talk of the fact that it should be on a compulsory basis. Ideally, everyone who is deprived, who is in need, should be in position to be availed or supported in one way or another. And then finally, we must understand that the benefits should be kept within fixed limits, such that at the end of the day, there is that maintenance of the standards of living that is maintained of those that are benefiting from particular programs. We need also to understand that it is very important that the benefits are kept within fixed limits. And then another thing, we must understand that with social insurance, we must look at the position of where an individual is just helped to overcome a particular challenge. But we cannot say that social insurance really can prevent that scenario, for example, unemployment from occurring. When we highlight some of the major issues, we looked at in our details that we sent, we look at that case study that was done, especially in South Africa, where the government established various funds, for example, the unemployment fund, the roads accident fund, among others. And basically here they looked at eligibility. What are those conditions that were meant to be fulfilled by the various groups of people to be fit to achieve such services at the end of the day? Then two, financing. The government was in a position to ensure that at the end of the day, there were various sources through taxation that were put into place to ensure that there is proper acquisition of resources that were meant to fund those particular schemes. However much the government tried very much, we realized that we cannot neglect the role of the private insurance companies that also came into place to ensure that everything moves on successfully. And with that deep analysis, we can try to conclude by looking at what were those different methodologies that were used to ensure that they identify those marginalized groups of people and the need. We highlighted some of them. We can use the geographical, where we look at, for example, the poor can be concentrated in a particular area. So we look at that particular region and we spot out those particular people with that particular target, and we look at how we can really help them. The proximity means, here we look at where the government can collect the demographic data about, for example, the populations, birth rates, etc., such that it can look at the statistics, and at the end of the day, it tries to see how best it can help a particular group of people. Then we can also look at self-testing, where we realize that you as an individual, if you feel like you really need help from the government, you can apply, and then if the government looks at your eligibility and you can really make it, you are availed with that particular service. And then finally, community-based methods. Here, basically, it's the community to support those various people. For example, if you use an example here in Uganda, realize that if you are to use this fourth method, it's the chairpersons, especially the LOC ones, that can really support that particular person, and because they know that so and so can really fail to even get what to eat, so they can be in position to get that particular person. So with that, I want to say that it is really very important to understand that social insurance is very beneficial, because it was also once used in countries like Brazil in a program called Bolsa Familia under President Da Silva, and many regions like Rio de Janeiro were being helped to overcome the challenge of poverty. And according to the World Bank report of 2015, we realized that really there was a lot of decline in poverty amongst those people. Thank you so much. I beg to submit.